Welcome back. Jacksonville is a city that has seen incredible changes over the past 60 years. And one of the men at the center of the physical appearance of many of those changes is architect Ted Pappas. On Your Side's Rich Donnelly takes us on a tour of Jacksonville with the author of a new book about the architect's work.
Without a doubt, Ted Pappas is the living architect who's had more influence on Jacksonville than anybody else.
Tim Gilmore is an author and English professor at FSCJ. He explores the architecture of Ted Pappas in his latest book, Box Broken Open, a book that he wrote while exploring the buildings that Pappas designed with Pappas.
Touring the city with Ted Pappas was a pretty incredible thing to hear his thinking. He sees architecture much differently than probably most of us do.
Pappas designed or restored more than 40 buildings throughout Jacksonville.
One of the things that I really love about his career is it's always looking in both directions. It always has. Even his contemporary architecture has deep historic thinking.
Gilmore's book about Pappas and his buildings is like flipping through the growth and development of the city.
He's restored so many structures across the center of the city that if you can imagine the city without those structures, I mean, they would be these huge gaping holes.
One of those buildings is the Singleton Senior Center in Springfield.
It's got this heavy concrete thing going on, but it's very fluid at the same time. The concrete itself bears the marking of the wood it was cast on.
Pappas's first solo commission was the St. John the Divine Greek Orthodox Church.
This is a structure that's very contemporary, but it also has these kinds of classical details to it, you know. He's working with columns like from a Greek temple, but they don't look anything like that. But it's a very contemporary design.
And on September 1st, anyone who's interested in the history and architecture of the city can meet with Gilmore for a discussion about his book Inside of Old St. Andrew's Church.
I think one of the most distinctive things is the ceiling. These incredible, they're called hammer beam trusses that have this herringbone kind of pattern to them that are really distinctive with Episcopal churches in particular.
And yes, it's another one of the buildings restored by Ted Pappas. Flipping through the recent history of Jacksonville's architecture, Rich Donnelly, First Coast News, On Your Side.